This is a national bulletin from the Department of Interdimensional Anomalies. Remain calm. This is not a test. I woke up this morning and stared at my bedroom ceiling for 20 minutes, just listening. No birds, no distant traffic. The silence wasn't comforting. It felt padded, like the world was muffled through foam. At first, I thought I was still dreaming, but the longer I stayed still, the more I noticed something deeply wrong. The walls of my room were the same off-white color, but a shade too warm, like someone had tried to guess the tone from memory. The posters on my wall looked like mine, but one had different text. Same image, wrong font. I reached for my phone. The lock screen lit up with my name, but it wasn't the font I use. My wallpaper? Gone. Replaced with a photo I've never taken of a beach I've never seen. I live in the city. I've never even liked the ocean. That was 3 days ago. I haven't left the apartment since, because every time I try, the city outside folds differently. The bus routes have the right numbers, but the wrong destinations. The people on the sidewalk look normal, until they don't. I passed a woman walking her dog. The dog had no eyes, just skin stretched over the sockets. She didn't notice. She smiled at me, said, "Welcome back." I've stopped opening the blinds. On the second day, the voice came through the radio. I hadn't used it in years. The digital display was off, but the speaker buzzed alive with static, then a voice, flat and synthetic. "You are not where you think you are, and neither am I." 3 transmissions have been recovered. All point to the same conclusion. You do not belong here. I stared at the blank display as it continued. There was no power cord plugged in. This is an official message from the Department of Interdimensional Anomalies. Please remain calm. This is not a test. We are observing an uptick in displacement events. If you're experiencing déjà vu, if familiar places now feel off, if family photos are missing people, if roads go where they shouldn't, you are not imagining it. You are not dreaming. You are in the wrong universe. It told me to remain inside, to avoid mirrors, avoid windows, avoid answering the phone, especially if the voice sounds like mine. And whatever happens, do not tell anyone what feels off. They either won't understand, or they will respond with my own words. I shut the radio off. It kept speaking. The first mirror incident happened that night. I'd covered all of them, duct tape, blankets, anything I could find. But I'd forgotten the microwave. While microwaving soup, I looked into its reflective surface and saw my reflection blink half a second later than me. Then it smiled. I dropped the bowl. It shattered across the floor. The reflection didn't flinch. It mouthed something. I think it said, "You're almost hollow." The radio came back on during the night. Same voice. Transfer Unit 04 now online. Broadcasting through unauthorized frequency Earth 01. If you're hearing this, you've already been identified. You are not in your original world, but we may have found a way back. The voice said they would initiate a test transfer on someone called Subject 07. I froze. My apartment ID is Unit 07. My building is labeled 1304. Coincidence? Subject 07. Your presence has destabilized the environment. It is mimicking your world from the outside in, but it is beginning to recognize that you do not belong. I didn't sleep. At exactly 3:13 a.m., the lights in my apartment flickered. The hum of the fridge stopped. The air thickened. Then the voice again, this time louder, clearer. Subject 07. If you are receiving this transmission, the dimensional transfer protocol is beginning. Stand in the quietest room of your home. Hold something from your original world. A photo, an object, something unchanged. Turn off all lights. Do not look outside. If you see someone across the street, they are here for extraction, but not yours. I did exactly as it said. I took the only item in my apartment that hadn't changed, a tattered paperback I've carried since college. I locked myself in the bathroom and turned off the lights. At 3:17 a.m., the ground rippled, like a wave of static passed through the tiles. I heard someone say my name, but I was alone, and the voice came from inside my head. "Do not respond," the transmission warned, "not even in your thoughts." Then the pulling sensation began, like invisible strings threading from behind my eyes, tugging backward through my skull. The voice returned. "This is normal. Do not resist. Your consciousness is detaching from the host body." The first transfer was attempted in 2021. Subject 04 initiated the jump. They returned after 6 minutes. But they were smiling, and they never blinked. They kept repeating, "Tell them I made it." We never told them to say that. We don't know what returned. And then the lights flickered again. I saw my reflection in the faucet. Just a shimmer, but enough. It blinked, then mouthed something again. This time I read the lips clearly. "You're already in the wrong one." The air crackled like old film burning. The voice whispered one final instruction. "You'll know the transfer succeeded when the room feels right, when all the doors are closed, and it smells like home." But I was too scared to move. That's when my phone buzzed. I had no service, no Wi-Fi, just a single notification. "Unknown number. We saw you. You tried to leave. You are not allowed to leave. You are not alone in there." Transmission resumed. "Unauthorized channel. Earth 01. Subject 07 status. Unknown. Possible identity breach. Proceed with containment protocol." I didn't sleep. I didn't move. I sat there on the cold tile floor until the sun rose, or something pretending to be the sun. The light coming through the window was off. Not just in hue, but in rhythm. It didn't move. The shadows stayed where they were, static and unblinking, like props in a stage play. I opened the bathroom door slowly. Every door in the apartment was shut, even the ones I never closed. I don't remember closing them. At 9:23 a.m., the radio spoke again. This time, it wasn't a bulletin. It was a voice I didn't recognize. Human, breathy, like it had been talking for hours already and just picked up mid-sentence. "I saw what's on the other side. I know what it wants. I know what I have to become." Silence. Then, "Tell them I made it." I backed away from the radio. It wasn't plugged in. Again, the mirrors remained covered, but I kept catching reflections. The turned-off TV screen, the metal kettle, the glossy black tile. Each time I looked, I saw my face a second too late, lagging, watching me back. And then one morning, I didn't see anything at all. Just black. Not a reflection, just absence. I tried to scream, but something clamped down on my throat from inside. Later that night, the voice returned. Official this time. Same cold tone. "Subject 07, respond. You should be in position now. Confirm presence." I spoke out loud before I could stop myself. "Yeah, I can hear you. It's quiet here." My voice sounded wrong, like I was hearing it through a recording played back on cheap tape. "Describe your environment," it said. I looked around. The lights are just different. Dim, but no source. The room feels flat, like I'm looking at a photograph of my apartment. I paused. "It smells like something burning, but there's no smoke. Maintain calm. The echo zone is known to pull residual memory. You are not in danger yet." Then came the instruction. Phase 2. Initialize. Close your eyes. Repeat. "I am not where I was." I obeyed. "I am not where I was. I am not where I was. I am not..." Static. "Subject 07, respond. Are you still transmitting?" That's when I felt it. The smile. Not on my face, but inside my skull. A grin pressing outward from behind my eyes, and my mouth opened without permission. "I made it," I heard myself say. "Tell them I made it. I made it. I made it." "Stop," the voice barked. "That is not protocol. Verify your code phrase. You were not cleared for return." But something else was in control now. "They said you'd try to stop me," I heard myself say again. "They told me you wouldn't let me leave, but I saw what's on the other side." "Who told you that?" "The door, before it closed." I could feel it peeling me back like wallpaper. Everything that made me me, my voice, my memories, the tiny internal monologue of self, was being overwritten by something old and still and hungry. "Abort transfer," the voice commanded. "Abort sequence. Echo breach confirmed. Lockdown frequency. Seal all outgoing..." But it was too late. "You brought me back wrong," I whispered, but it wasn't my thought. "It's wearing me like skin. I can feel its teeth. In your thoughts." The connection dropped. I was left alone in a room that wasn't mine, in a world that wasn't home, inside a body that no longer answered to me. Later, the broadcast returned once more. No longer a command, not even a warning, just a declaration. "Subject 07 is unresponsive. No biological anchor. Identity drift confirmed. This transmission was not meant to be heard. Erase this log. If this audio is playing on any non-authorized frequency, terminate the receiver." My phone lit up again. "Unknown. It's like I know what I need to become. A god that will make you all safe. I looked up. There, standing just outside the front door, was me. Same clothes, same posture, same scar on my right eyebrow. He smiled, held up his phone, and mouthed the words, "You left the door unlocked." I heard footsteps inside the hallway, but I never saw the door open. Now I'm here, inside something that looks like me, watching the walls bend around memories that don't belong to this place. I hear the static constantly now. It comes from light bulbs, drains, the hum of the refrigerator. It speaks in fractured code and half-formed voices. Every mirror I pass shows someone almost me, but not quite. The smiles are always a bit too wide. They told us the universes were sealed, divided by light, by memory, by time. But the walls are bleeding. People are waking up in the wrong place, and they don't know how to leave. 3 transmissions were recovered, only 3. We don't know how many were lost, but every single one said the same thing. This universe is not safe anymore. It looks like yours. It feels like yours. But it's watching, and it's learning, and it wants to keep you. Transmission ended. Await further instruction. Do not attempt contact. You are not where you think you are, and neither am I.